Okay, good morning, everybody. Today is the 25th class on technology, web technology, and we are learning the third module in which we are learning JavaScript. What we have learned from the beginning in this module is JavaScript is a client-side scripting language, which means that we write some script and this script executes on the client's machine in the browser. The browser is capable of running JavaScript. Where do we write this JavaScript? We write JavaScript inside HTML tags, or we can write it embedded in script tags, or we can write this JavaScript in external files, and then we can include them in our HTML. These JavaScript files, when they are written in external files, these external files are saved with extension .js. Okay, and this JavaScript gets executed. Okay, so that is what we have studied in the last few classes. Then we started understanding the syntax of JavaScript, how to declare variables. It is a dynamically typed scripting language, which means that you don't have to declare the type of a variable. You just need to use a keyword called as var, followed by the name of the variable, and then initialize it with some value. The value can be of type integer, float, string. Automatically the variable becomes the variable of that type. So it is dynamically typed, and then we studied some of the objects, built-in objects of JavaScript. Yeah, of course, we studied the syntax of JavaScript, how to write the while loop, the for loop, functions, operators. Of course, we studied arithmetic, relational comparison. And then we studied some of the built-in objects of JavaScript, like the array object, the string object, the date object, the math object. Yesterday, I was writing a small program in which I told you that I would demonstrate to you people, in web. Then we had this web test here. This is what it was. So if I open this with Sublime Text, this is what I got. And then I wanted to display to you the current year. Okay. So for example, if I say alert D, yesterday we had written this program. Yesterday where I declared D, which is an object of the date built-in object, declared a variable D of date object, and then alert D, display the value of D dot toString. If I say, it will display me the rate. Basically, this is what happens. So file save. If I go to this folder, if I double click on this, then it displays me that today is Wednesday, November 11th, year, time, and everything. It displays me. Okay, so this is what is the program. Now if I individually want to extract, so I said D dot, I was writing yesterday day on, I was writing here, but it was not coming, but it is actually D dot, it is get day, it is get day. This is how it has to be extracted. So D is an object, D dot get day. D is an object of the date class. So D dot get day it should give me the date. Sorry. So file save. If I come and refresh here, it displays me 3. It displays me 3. Why? Because today is Wednesday, and Wednesday is the third day of the week. That's why. Okay. So if I say day dot get here, if I say day dot get here, save it, refresh, then it displays me 120. 120. Now do not get confused. Okay. There is one more called as get full year. Get full year is also there. If I refresh, it gives me 2020. Okay, so for example, from the date, if you want to extract the year part, you have to say get full year. Okay, get month should give me the month, and so on. So if it's the 10th month, starting from 0, it's the 10th month, like that it is. Okay. So basically, if you have a date data in this D, then you can extract the month separately, the year separately, the day separately, the day of the week separately, and so on. Okay, get month is there, and then you can search on the internet. Here you can just search on the internet JavaScript date object get day of the week. Okay, so there is something called as get date, how to get day of the week and the month of the year. Okay, so we have this, you can search for this and you will get it easily. So basically we understood that in JavaScript we have a built-in object called as date, and we can declare a variable of that type, and then we can extract the month part, the day part, and so on. Okay, so these are all, we need not go into too much of detail of all this. Okay, in the examination they will ask you explain any two JavaScript built-in objects. So you can take up math, or you can take up date, or you can take up array or string. It is up to us, whichever you are comfortable with. Now let us go further and try to understand what is a window object. Okay, the window object, very important from your examinations point of view, and in JavaScript this plays a very important role whenever you are writing, when you are using JavaScript for client side scripting, then the window object is very important. Now remember that the browser window can be accessed. The browser window can be accessed in your JavaScript, which means that if I have my browser window, if let us say this is my browser window, okay, this is my browser window. Now the browser window has got a lot of options. It has got a status bar, it has got a back button, it has got a forward button, it has got a refresh button, it has got an address bar, it has got all this. So if you want to access these elements, if you want to access these different parts, controls of the window, you can make use of it through the window object. Okay, you can use it through the window object. You can access the history of the browser window, you can access the back button of the window, and so on. How to access that? We access that through something called as, you can read it from here. The window object in JavaScript corresponds to the browser itself. Through it can access the current page URL, you can access the history and all that. So basically, in fact, the alert function that we are using, no, alert to display something on the browser is actually belongs to the window object. It belongs to the window object because it is getting displayed on the window. It's getting displayed on the window. So alert is a function which is present in the window object. That is one thing. So there is only one thing about the window object, that if you want to access any of the elements of the window, you can access it through the window object. One example is the alert method. Which are the different things you can do using the window object? You can access the history, you can access the URL, current URL of the page, and so on. Next, and very important, is the document object model. What is a document object model, or the DOM? To understand DOM, we have to understand the structure of the HTML page. Let us take an example and understand how normally the structure of the page will be. You know that the document is on the top here. Okay, how do you write your page? You first start writing HTML. If you look at this particular example here, what do you have on the top here? What you have here is you have a HTML tag, then the body tag. The HTML tag may contain a head tag. In the head tag, then there will be title tag and all that will be there, you know. Okay, I'm not going to write this right now. I'll remove it. For my program, it is not required, but I can have a head tag. In the head tag, I will have a title tag. In the head tag, I can also have a meta tag. In the body tag, then you may have a h1 tag, p tag, image tag, h2, div. Inside one division, you may have one more paragraph. Inside this paragraph, you may have time tag and so on. So this is just an example of a web page, and they are showing the structure of this. Now remember that the root element is always the HTML element. The root element is always the HTML element. This is the root element. Okay, and these are all nodes. These are all nodes. HTML is a node. Head is a node. Okay, body is a node. Meta is a node. Title is a node. Any tag or element of HTML is called as a node. Please remember that. Okay, and now you have to understand the relationship between these nodes. If let us say immediately under the HTML node, there are two nodes. They are siblings. They are brothers and sisters. Okay, at the same level. Whenever elements are at the same level, they are siblings. Their parent should be same. If their parent is same, then they are siblings. Okay. Now, for example, meta tag and title tag are siblings because their parent is same. H1 tag, P tag, image tag, H2, div and div are all siblings because their parent is body. So they are all siblings. And who is the parent? The parent is body. And who are all these? They are the child nodes. So these are the child nodes. So H1, P, image, H2, div are children of body tag. Meta and title are children of head tag. And H1P image, they're all siblings. They're all siblings. Okay, so you have to understand the relationship between the nodes. Why we have to understand this is because the document object model, the DOM, allows you to access these elements separately. For example, let us say I want to change the content of this P tag. In the P tag, okay, I have written something. You know what? Why do we use the P tag? We use the P tag to create a paragraph. So, for example, let us say here after the script tag, I want some paragraph to come. So, I write something. I write something in that paragraph. Okay. So I can write this is the paragraph. This is the paragraph. That's it. I just want to write only this much. So I can write any text in the paragraph. I want to change the content of this paragraph. I want to change the content from this is the paragraph to my name is Naveed. I want to change to that. So I have to access this particular p tag individually. I have to access this individually, and then I have to change the content of this p tag. Okay, to access these elements individually and change the content of that, or maybe change the background color of that, the div tag, if you want to access. If you want to do any changes to that particular element, you have to access them. And to access them, JavaScript provides you with an API. It provides you with some built-in functions, and that built-in functions come under the DOM. DOM is, you can think of DOM, or the document object model, as an API containing a lot of built-in functions using which you can access elements of HTML documents individually, and after accessing them individually, you can change the appearance of those elements and the content of those elements. I will repeat this once again. Pay attention that document object model, or DOM, is API, or it is a set of built-in functions, or you can call it as it is a library containing a lot of built-in functions. Okay, it is a built-in API or library containing a lot of functions to access elements of HTML individually, and after accessing them individually, you can change the appearance of these elements, you can change the content of that element. Okay, so that's why it is important to understand this. If I'm starting from the root node, then I will go into the first children of that root node, then I will take the second child, and then I will go to the first child of that. For example, let us say I want to access this p tag. I have to start from the root node. Okay, remember, I want to access this particular p tag, so I start from the root node. So first I am at this level. I say the parents' two children are there. Okay, the second child, okay, the second child is of the root node is body. This is the first child. It goes from the left to right. This is the first child, and this is the second child. Second child's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth child. Second child's fifth child is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the this div tag, and this child's second child is this p tag. So you should know in your document where that element is, so that you can access it. How to access it is, you should know the relationship. The parents' two children are there. Second child's fifth child. Fifth child's second child is this p tag. So you can access it like that. You can address to this particular element like that, and then you can change the content of that p tag, or you can change the appearance of that p tag. Okay, you will understand all this. Okay, so to access these elements individually, what we have is, we have some built-in functions like this. We have properties, we have attributes, we have child nodes, we have first child, we have last child, we have next sibling, we have node name, we have node type. So these are the different types of built-in functions of DOM object to use, for you to use and access elements individually. Okay, so what I will do is, I will take the root node, and then I will say root node dot child nodes. It will give me all the child nodes, and then I will access the second child of all the children, and then these childs. If you want to access the first child of that, you can use the first child property. If you want to access the last child of that element, then you can use the last child property. Next sibling is the next sibling. If that node, whichever node you are, if you want to know what is a node name, you can use a node name. Node type, you can use a node type. If you want to use the value of that, you can use node value, parent node, previous sibling. So these are some of the built-in functions. I want you people to understand them and remember them. These are some of the essential node object properties. You can access elements of HTML individually using these built-in properties. First, access all the children using child nodes. Then all the child nodes, take the first child, then take first child's next sibling, next sibling's next sibling, like that. Use this addressing mode and address a particular element, and you can access it. Okay, let us take an example, then you will understand. Okay, let us take an example. These are the properties, and here are some of the methods. Okay, some of the methods that we can use, okay, in the DOM object is create attribute. You can create a new attribute into a child. You can create an element, create text node. You can create a new text node. Get element by ID will give you a node, okay, by ID. Get elements by tag names, that you can access them using tag names, and so on. So Okay, more or less this becomes easy when we take an example. Uh, let us take an example. What we have here is we have a body tag. In the body tag, there is an h1 tag. Okay, consider this HTML document. I have a body tag. Inside the body tag, there is an h1 tag. H1 tag close here. Then I have a div tag. Then inside the div tag, there is a p tag. Inside the p tag, there is a time tag. Then I have one more p tag. Then the div tag closes. So from here to here is that div tag. Then there is an HR. HR is horizontal rule, it will draw a line. Then again there is a div tag. Again there are two p tags inside that. Then there is an HR and body tag. Now if I have a structure like this, if I want to access a particular element individually, then I can use that addressing mode of, I can have that addressing mode of picking up. Then I can have the addressing mode of picking up all the children, then using next sibling, previous sibling, all that addressing mode I can use. Otherwise, the easiest way to access a particular element, you can see that the div tag can have an ID. I can give an ID to the div tag. Similarly, I can give an ID to the p tag also. And every element of HTML can be given an ID. And you have to remember that IDs should be unique. If this div tag has an ID of latest comment, this div tag, if it has an ID, which it can have, should be different. This should be different. Every element should have a different ID, unique. Okay. So now if I want to access a particular node using the ID, I use getElementBy. This is getElementBy tag name. This is one way of addressing or getting it. Another way is by using this. I can declare a variable. I can declare a node called as ABC is equals to document.getElementBy ID latest comment. If you want to access this div tag, okay, directly wherever it is present inside the structure of your HTML page, okay, even if let us say it is deep inside your HTML page, you don't have to use next sibling, previous sibling, that addressing mode, because it becomes a little complicated. You have to remember fifth sibling, second sibling. That way it becomes difficult. Okay, but if you want to access them directly, how much ever deep it is, you can directly use this method, document.getElementBy ID. Inside the double quotes, then you can say latest comment. Okay, latest comment is the name given to this div tag. So directly in ABC, which node will come? This node will come. And then this node's content, what is there? There is a paragraph. I don't want this paragraph to be there. I want to change the content of this div tag. I can do it using this ABC variable in JavaScript. It's a little difficult to understand. Let us execute a program and understand this. I want you people to understand at this point of time that HTML documents are always structured like a tree. There is a root node. Inside the root node, then there are children. Children will have more children. Children will have siblings. Then to access a particular element and change the content of that element, I can use a DOM. DOM provides me a lot of built-in properties and built-in methods using which I can access elements of HTML, and then I can change the content of that. Maybe you're getting a question as to why do you have to change the content of a particular element of HTML? If anybody of you has got that doubt as to why do we have to change the content of the p tag, or maybe why do we have to change the content of the div tag? You must have seen several times in HTML that the moment I take the mouse pointer over a particular item, automatically the content changes sometimes. Okay, I don't know. I may not be able to actually show you any of the examples here. It may not be possible for me to show. Yeah, see, you can see that the moment I'm taking the mouse pointer over, you can see that there is a drop down here, and then it is showing me something. Or you can see here, at the moment I'm taking the mouse pointer over a particular button, it is changing the color to light gray, it is dark gray, light gray, like this. So you can change the appearance of div tags, p tags, anything on mouse top of it. So to access these elements individually, we need the document object model. So for that, you can get element by ID by putting directly the name, by directly putting the ID of that element, and then you can use this ABC object to change the background color, to change the content of the text box and all that. Okay, so let us take an example and see how to do this. Okay, so let us see that I have. Let us say that I have a div tag here. Okay, then I have the slash div. To this div tag, I give ID is equals to my div. Okay, my div is the name, is the ID that I'm giving to that div tag. Now see where it is. It is where it is present. It is present in the HTML body, and then there is a script tag here. Okay, and if you remember last time we had done a program where we had placed a button, and then on pressing that button, some code was executing. So initially in my div tag, I will write, this is the div tag. This is the div tag I will write. And in the script, or what I will write is, I will write var. Hello, yeah. Hello. Yeah, I think there was a little problem with the network. That's why it has got disconnected. Now I think, am I audible to all of you? Just somebody reply back. Hello, am I audible? Somebody please reply back, because I haven't received any reply from anybody. I just want to make sure that I'm audible. Okay, so Vaishnavi has replied back, Shilpa Prajakta has replied back here. Thank you so much for the reply. Now I will continue. What I was telling is, I was telling that it is possible to access individual elements of HTML using DOM API. DOM API provides you with a lot of built-in properties and methods using which you can access them individually and change the content, change the appearance, and so on. I have a div tag here called as my div. I will come to this example of DOM. Before that, I just want to tell you one more thing. Let us say that I have written this script tag. In the script tag, I don't directly write the code. I don't directly write the code. I will define a function here. I will define a function here called as my function. And I write something, alert, hello. Okay, just look at this example. I'm not explaining you DOM. Okay, I will come back to DOM later on. I will come back to my div getElementBy ID that later on. Something else about JavaScript I want to explain you. In the script tag, I've written a function here. And in the function, what is the name of the function? It is my function. Alert, hello. What does it do? That whoever calls, whenever the function, my function is called, what it does is it will display you a message in the alert box. I will remove this right now. I'll control X, and then here I will write a form. I will close the form, and then I will write input type is equals to button. I don't want the name attribute. I'll say value is equals to, because what does value do? It will display something on the button. Okay, so I'll say click me. I want click me to be displayed on the button, so I write value is equals to click me, and then I say on click call the function my function. Okay, so this is what I do. Look at this. I have a form here, and then there is a button called as button. On top of that, I want to display click me, and then when the button is clicked, if you remember, I can write JavaScript directly here. It is called as inline JavaScript. But what I have done right now is when the button is clicked, I'm calling the function my function. So this my function will not be executed automatically unless and until somebody calls it. So when I say that when the button is clicked, call the function my function, only then you will see that it displays you hello. So let us demonstrate this first. So file, save, I come here, I refresh. When I refresh, I get a button here called as click me. So when I click on that, it displays me a message hello. When I click on that, it displays me a message hello. When I click on that, it displays me the message hello. So now remember that you have written your JavaScript in a function. When the browser encounters this, it will not execute this JavaScript. The browser will execute the my function only when it is called. And what I have written here, I have written a code to call the function when the button is clicked. So I said that please place the button on the browser, on the web page. On top of that button, display click me. That is what you see here. What you write here is click me. And on click, when the button is clicked, call the function my function is what I'm trying to tell it. Okay, so this is what I just wanted to tell you, that I can even write my JavaScript in a function like this, and I can call the function when a particular event occurs. We will come to events later on, but I just wanted to explain you this right now because we need this now for understanding DOM. So whatever you write here will get executed. So for example, if you say alert hello will come, otherwise you can display var x is equals to 10, and I can say var sq is equals to x star x. Okay, and then alert, I can display the value of sq. Okay, and then I put a semicolon. So file save. So when I click on the button, all this will get executed. You will declare a variable first, then it perform the square of that number, and it will display the square of that number. Okay, so I save it, I come here, I refresh this, and then I click on that. You can see that it displays me 100 because 10 into 10 is 10 into 10 is 100, so it displays me the square. So you understood by now that you have understood that the function my function is being called when the button is clicked. Okay, when the button is clicked, only then the function, only then the JavaScript in the function is getting executed. Okay, now coming back to DOM, I will try to do something now. Div, let us say the ID be equals to my div. Let the ID be equals to my div of that div tag, and then okay, so this is the div tag, and this is the div tag I have written in the div tag, and then I want to access that. So when the button is clicked, I want to do all that. So what I do here is I declare a variable var. I will call it as d is equals to how do we access element by id? I simply write document.getElementBy id. I write that. So d is equals to document.getElementBy id, and the name of my div tag is not last comment, it is my div. So I have accessed that div tag, and now I do d dot html text. HTML text is changed. Okay, now don't worry about what is this. I'll just save this and see whether it will work or not. Save, I'm not very sure. So I refresh this. Yeah, you can see the div tag is there. This is the div tag. Okay, what I have placed here originally. And after that, what I'm doing is I'll just refresh this and click on that. Yeah, what is supposed to happen is when I click on the button, I want the text of this div tag to be changed from this is the div tag to changed text. It should be changed to change text. So what I'm attempting to do is, what I'm planning to do is, when I click on this, automatically this text that you are seeing, it should get changed to this text. It should get changed to this text, whatever I'm writing in the double quotes here. How do I write that? I think it is to be written like this. I don't remember. File, save, refresh. No, but there is something called as HTML text. I know that, but I don't know. I'm not very sure about that. But let me just check it online. Tag. Text content. Okay. Text content, is it? Yeah, sorry, it was text content, not HTML text. So what I am doing is there is a, once I access the element, of the HTML tag, then I use one of the properties of this the object d.textContent now will change to this particular thing. Okay, so file, save, I come here, I refresh. When I refresh, this is the original thing. When I click on that, you can see that the text in the div tag changed to whatever you've written here. Originally it was, this is the div tag, and later on when I click on the button, it is getting changed there. So what is happening is, in my HTML I have a node. I have a node which is a div node. It has got an ID called as my div. I first accessed that into an object D. I first accessed that element. Which element? The div element in D. And then if I want to change the content of that div tag, I simply have to do this. D, which is the object, and this object is pointing to which div tag? My div, which is over here. And then I said d.textContent is equals to, in double quotes, whatever you want to display when the button is clicked, you can simply write it there. When I come here, I refresh. This is the original. When I click on that, it changed to change text. You may feel that this is simple. What is there? There is nothing much. But I will tell you, in latest websites, you will feel that in most of the websites, you need to dynamically change the content of div tags, p tags, and lot of tags. This is done by using the DOM, DOMgetElementBy ID. So you get access to that individual. In this HTML, if you see, there are so many elements. There is a form element, there is a div element, there is a body element. If you want to access that div tag, which has got an ID, my div, you simply have to do this, document.getElementBy ID. Write this properly, write the ID properly. And after writing the ID properly, then use that object, use the text content property, and assign it some content to change the content. And similarly, you can access other properties of the D, not only the text content. Maybe there is something called as background color also. I don't know. I just need to check. Okay, so I just go there and I say div tag text content is there. BACK back color background GROUND background color. So do we have anything like that? So I really don't know whether it is possible or no, but let me just check. No, I think this will not work. It doesn't work like that. Will this work? I don't know. I just need to just check it out once again. I'll just refresh. No, it doesn't work like that. So div dot, we have to actually check all the built-in. This is through CSS. I'm seeing it through DOM. Div DOM property. Style, yeah, style is there. Tag name, tab index, node name, next sibling namespace matches. Style. I don't know, there is some problem with the network. The network is very, very slow. Just give it me a little time. Okay, let this, no, there is a problem with the, Yeah, I think this is how it is. Get element by ID dot style dot color dot style dot color. So it should be d dot style dot color is equals to red. So I saved it. Yeah, I think now you can see that the color of the text is changing to red. Okay, you can see that the color of the text is changing to red. If I refresh, this is the div tag, and when I click on that, it is changing to red. So you can access that element D, and then using these built-in properties, you can change the content of the text content you can change. You can change the color of the text, and you can do a lot of changes. Okay, you can find all those built-in functions here. A lot of built-in functions are there. You can find all those here on W3 Schools. But in the textbook, it is not given much, only this much, how to get an element by ID. And after getting that object ABC, then ABC.text content, ABC.style.color, you can keep changing it. Okay, through JavaScript dynamically. Through JavaScript dynamically, you can change it, okay, by accessing the elements. If I have multiple div tags in my HTML page, I can access them individually. Only thing is that the ID of each div tag should be different, and you can do that. Okay, I hope this is clear, all of you. If there are any doubts, you please note them down. I know after